All I gotta say is just like I'm in awe, like wow. And it was so amazing how I see God work. But before, when I was hearing about like, oh, I gotta pack all this stuff, I was like, I don't really want to go on this mission trip. That was my mindset before. I was like, I don't really want to go. Like I just felt like I didn't want to go. I just wanted to stay home. Like I didn't feel obligated to go, and like I was like, I'm gonna be working, but I was like, yeah, very intense. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I knew I was gonna be stepping into something that was going to challenge me, which it did, something that was going to be hard, and that's why I guess I wasn't really looking forward to it, but I knew there's gonna be a benefit from it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So the first night we got out there, it was just like, it was really good. I still didn't know. I still felt like, I don't know why I'm here, you know, kind of, which sometimes I feel like that when I go on like our little mission trip. I didn't know I was out there until after. That's when I realized what God was trying to do through it. So yes, Black Mountain, North Carolina, and it was with our school, Prodigy. So we all get to ride in these big vans up to this campus. It was up on a mountain. It actually sat pretty far high up, like over all the destruction. We couldn't really see it because there was a highway, which I thought was cool. Like we're up on a mountain, you know? And yeah, it was we were going there for hurricane damage, which was in like last November, October, around there. There was still a lot of damage. We were driving around and there was just complete homes like off the foundation and like smashed, and this huge mudslide actually came down from the mountain and destroyed a railroad track and had trees all over it. And also on the side of the highway, we were driving on this side, this other lane had got completely destroyed by a mudslide, and it was really bad. And it was wiped out, and they were trying to work on it. It was crazy how much damage there was. But yes, but when we got there, the worship, that's the main thing that stands out to me anyways. Like I love worship, anything like that, like prayer worship. And the worship was led by this girl named Kaylee. I became friends with her. She's 19. She came there by herself actually from Colorado. And I said, that's a brave soul, because you don't know nobody here, like no one. And she came and she was helping doing worship, and it was just really amazing. The worship was so good, and there was other youth groups there. It was youth groups. We were the only school, which the lady said stood out to her. It was like a school, not just youth groups. There was 2 other youth groups, I'm pretty sure, that were there with us, with all these youth and college kids, and there was the adults and the team. But yeah, so my group, our school split up into groups, and we went to go see the houses the day before we started working on them, and we seen them. Most of them were houses. There was one group that had to stay on base to kind of help clean up and build stuff. There was another group, which was my group. We helped my teacher's great aunt. Her yard had been destroyed from the hurricane, and her garage had been destroyed, and we had to work on her yard. And then there was other people that had houses they were renovating and rebuilding and stuff. So when I found out that I was just going to be doing yard work, I was not happy, because I do that on a regular weekly basis with my dad. And so, yeah, that was kind of a hard part in the beginning. But we ended up getting her yard cleaned up, and there was like a whole stack of leaves and bushes and I don't know, all the stuff. And it was probably as big as this room, and we actually cleaned it down and made it into a flower garden. And her great aunt is like 90 years old, and she can't hardly walk anymore, but she actually on the last day walked out there, and we put a little bench for her. She started crying, which actually made me cry. because she was like, you don't know how much this means to me. I used to garden back when I was young and have flowers and stuff. And that really it touched me. And so about the youth groups there, something that God really was showing me was like, when we were there was this one youth group called the Church of the Lakes. And at night, they would come together, like after 10 o'clock was lights out, they would come together at 10 and make this little circle. And a person would sit in the middle, and they'd all pray for this one person, like the Holy Spirit lead on everything. And I was like, I really want to go do it, but my teacher was like, you got to get to bed. So I couldn't get to do it, but we ended up actually on the last night we got to do it with them. We stayed up, it was like 10 to 1 a.m. praying straight. And for those of you that don't like praying and think it's boring, would have had a hard time with that, because you guys, some of us get tired of praying just here. They get bored here. We only do it for like an hour. But we end up doing that, and it was so powerful how God moved. It was like something shifted. Like there was a big shift, like a transformation. That was the word I got for this trip, and many other people got the word transformation on this trip. And it was just, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, I feel like I've been transformed. Like something inside me has been transformed on the way I've looked at life and how I've looked at Christianity and things in my walk with God. And it's just, it's really amazing how God just can shift you and transform you if you just take time to listen to Him and serve for Him and work with Him. So another thing that was like a really big God moment was one of our vans, when we were driving down the hill, broke down. The brakes got lost, like they didn't work no more. We were going down the mountain, like it was like probably like this, and there was no brakes, and I was sitting there like, oh no, we're gonna crash. Like it was really bad. And I started praying. I was like, God, please don't let me die. I really don't want to die, because it was really scary, because rocks are on the side of you and you're going down the hill like 50 miles an hour. We ended up coasting down the mountain and up to our place safely, which I don't even know how, because the brakes were not working. They ended up looking at it. We made it there safely, thank God, but we needed a whole new transmission. Transmission. And we actually got to move one of those at the lady's house, and they're like really big things in the car. I don't know much about cars, but yeah. And so we had to have a whole new transmission for one of our vans. She called the place up because one of the people knew like a mechanic that could work on it. And it was ended up having to be $4,000 to just get it replaced. And the guy was like, I don't know if we'll be able to get it in time for you before you leave, because we were leaving that Friday. And so my teacher was having a big like stress out moment. Oh no, we're going to have to be here. We're going to have to stay here for so much more longer. We're not going to be able to get these kids home in time for their families. So she ended up calling the administrator of our school and was like, hey, we need $4,000 because we're stuck out here basically. The van's not working. We can't go nowhere. And he's like, well, can't you use your big brown eyes to try to get a donation for $4,000? She's like, no, I'm out here working. And so he said, okay, I'll be right back. And kid you not, probably 10 minutes later, he calls back. He's like, hey, we got a donation for $4,000 to get your transmission replaced. And I was like, $4,000, that's a lot. Like, I'll take $4,000 like anytime. I was like, that's so crazy, because we were stuck out there. We were literally about to call home and be like, hey, we're going to be out here for like another week, because they didn't know if the part would come in. So they ordered it, and it said it wasn't going to be until like the next week. And so then my teacher was like, oh no, God, again, like what the crap? We just got $4,000, but where's the part? So we were praying, and the transmission actually came in early than what the guy expected it to come in. It came in literally the day before we had to leave, and they got it in, and we got to go home. And And that was just really amazing because $4,000 is a lot, guys. Someone just up and donated that. And that was really, really amazing. Another thing that happened was we had these little lunch breaks. And all of a sudden, I was like, there's guitars up there. So I start playing guitar or whatever. I mean, my friend up there just singing around or whatever. Like, people start coming up. And I'm like, oh, no. People are hearing me sing and play. And then we actually started, like, worshiping. Like, having a whole worship session right there in the middle of lunch. And everyone joined in. And it was so powerful because I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, I just went up there to just mess around, and then it turned into a whole worship moment. And I was just like, I don't know, it really just moved me, like showing that just by using something small, I just want to go play the guitar, turns into a whole worship session to worship the Creator that made us. And it was really touching. And I'm going to forget a lot of stuff I was going to say. Okay. So, I don't know. This, for me, I was like, and not really. I was just looking at the other youth groups as I was there, like, watching them on how they have a youth group. And I was just comparing it. I know it's not good to compare, but I was comparing it to our youth group. And I was like, oh my gosh, like their youth group is so much better because they're actually coming together. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Stop laughing. But it was just like they were unified. And I noticed that through the prayer circle, they were there. And as they were in the middle, they were being vulnerable, not having to worry about if people were going to judge them, and not having to worry about if people were going to gossip, if people were going to spread their business or, judge them based on what they were saying and what they were struggling with. They were there agreeing, just listening, being vulnerable together. And I just started praying for our youth group that night, actually. And it was just like, God, I really want this for our youth group because I feel like our youth group's broken. Does anybody else feel like that? I feel like yes, like, I know, like, me personally, I know some people in this room I can trust more than others, but that's really sad. Like, I know that's for all of you too. Some people can't trust half the people in this room. And that's just, like, really, it's so sad. Like, why can't you trust them? What's that barrier keeping you from trusting them? And it was just the unity part of that youth group was something that I am striving for our youth group. And so I was praying for that, and God woke me up 5 a.m. every morning, and I prayed and read my Bible, and it was, there's people up by then. Because we had this thing called the Fire Watch. I was like, that's kind of dumb, because you basically had to wake up. It was from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., all the hours in the night, you had to trade shifts of people who would walk around the campus watching for fire, because the state said that because they don't have fire sprinklers or whatever. So I ended up having to wake up a couple times in the night, but I thought it was going to be something like, I'm dreading this. But no, it was actually a blessing. Me and this teacher, Miss Norman, I got to know her better. Josiah's teacher, one of them. She woke me up because we had to do our fire watch, and we just walked around the tent for a whole hour praying, and it was just so amazing. Like, I know my flesh didn't want to wake up at that time because I was dragging myself along, but I was there in the moment with God, even like in my sleepiness and my tiredness. Like, even though I was waking up the next morning to work hard again, I still sacrificed myself to pray, to be with God, no matter how my body was feeling. If I was tired the next day as I was working, I still sacrificed my flesh to be with God. And that's something that I've learned, that you need to be able to sacrifice your flesh and what you want to enable yourself to be with God and spend time with God and just love God and spend in His presence, just being with Him. And it was, I don't know how to explain it, but besides, like, I feel like I'm transformed, like I'm a whole new person because of it. And I know my dad said, you're going to come back being a different person. I was like, whatever. And here I am, and I was asking my mom in the car, I'm like, Mom, do I change? And she's like, yeah. But it was just, I don't know. They end up talking about mission stuff. They have all these mission programs you can go out and do. They have these different, there's like this one's a big one, an 11-month mission, 11-month mission trip, a 9-month mission trip, 3 months, 4 weeks, 2 to 1 week, and there's different ages, and you can bring your family on different ones, and you get to go to like different countries in the span of months. And as we were talking about it, I got to talk with one of the leaders, and I was just like, I feel drawn to do this. Like, something inside of me is like, I want to go do this. And so, if my dad lets me, I want to. But I feel I feel like that's where God, I don't know, it's just like my eyes have been open, because on the way up on the trip, I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. I want to do business, but I'm like, I don't really know what I do. Like, I think I'm going to go to this college, but I don't know if I am, because it's kind of expensive. I don't have that much money. And then here's God. I just feel like he just unveiled my eyes, like, oh, you're going to be doing something with missions, like going out and traveling and sharing God's word like we're supposed to be doing. And you don't have to go to different countries to spread God's word and be on a mission trip, because every day your day should be a mission trip. You should be living out a mission trip, not planning to go on one. You should be living to be on a mission trip. Like, your whole life should be a mission to spread God's word. And I don't know, it was crazy, because I was having those thoughts, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Then God showed me that. Then there was this guy that came from this college that's up there. Whoa. Because I was talking about college on the way up. I was like, because Miss Norman was asking me questions. Oh, where do you want to go to college? I'm like, oh, I want to go to Union. She goes, oh, yeah, my son applied there. It's super expensive, and they don't let you stack scholarships, and the dorm rooms are really high. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm not going to survive out there. But then this guy towards the end of the trip, like, he came on Tuesday, and he was talking about this college called Excel College. And it was basically like Prodigy, but a college. And it's basically like you live in these homes, and you learn how to do life together with these people in this home. And you get college credit for learning how to take care of a home, doing like adult things, having a job. You get college credit for having a job and working that job, for learning how to make meals like for yourself, survive on a daily basis as an adult. They just train you up how to be an adult, so when you go out there, you're not just like, oh crap, wake up call, you know? And so he's like, here's a little card, if you fill it out, like, we'll send you more information. You can win a t-shirt. And I was like, oh, I want a t-shirt. So I filled it out, and I was like, God, if this is for me, just show me a sign, because I really like felt like called, I guess, or like something in me was like, oh, I'll fill the card out. So I did. And I was like, God, give me a sign if something's supposed to happen with this. So I put the card in the thing. Friday comes, the guy comes, like, oh, hey. He's like, oh, hey. He had the cards in his hand. He was standing, like, right here. And I was right here. And one of the people was drawing the cards, because there was hundreds of cards from this whole camp that was there, of all of these kids. And he comes up. He's like, oh, come draw a card or whatever. So this one guy came and drew a card. And I'm standing there like this. Like, oh, okay. And he comes, draws the card, flips it over, and goes, Jazmin Cruse. And I'm like, that's me! And I literally jumped like that. And he goes, oh my gosh, here you go. Here's the t-shirt. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was excited the rest of the day, because we actually got to go on a surprise tour to the college too. And it was, I don't know, it was just really cool how God showed up on that end, I guess. And the college didn't even get damaged. Like, God spared the college. And after the whole hurricane thing, they basically had, he was telling us they had this little like retreat place like families could go to. They had this big tent up, and he said, this is ghetto Walmart. We called it ghetto Walmart because it basically looked like a mini Walmart inside that tent where people could come and get food. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And they had like places where people could stay and get things, and they helped people. And it was just really cool how God spared the college, and nothing got damaged from that. And so I was like, that's really cool. And just hearing about everything, and it was just really amazing. And so the night I left, I was like, God, I feel like you didn't show me nothing on this trip. And then I'm just talking about all the stuff you showed me. I'm like, God, you didn't show me anything. Like, there's people talking about how amazing this happened. Like, oh, God told me this. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I wish you could do that for me. Then it comes after the trip. I was on our way home, and I was just, my mom's like, what happened on your trip? Me talking about all this stuff. I'm like, wow, God really did show me something. God really did change me, because I felt like I didn't get changed. I felt like nothing really happened besides me serving for God, which was something that did happen. But he did truly like change me. And my mom's reminding me because I can't remember everything. The theme of the camp was alive. And imagine that, because our thing for our word of the year is come alive in 2025. And when the lady was explaining the theme, she was like, guys, it's not just the word alive because it rhymes with 2025. And I'm like, wow, God, there it is. Because I was thinking that. And she was explaining like how last year their theme was like how God was opening doors. And I was like, well, that's what our thing was last year. And I'm like, oh my gosh, God, that's so crazy how you just put all that together. And so, yeah, it was just really an amazing thing. And so, yeah.